What is up, Ludi Bros Army? It's your boy Big Bro Lamar Ludi, sitting down to go over my first place Kaido deck profile from a local tournament that I played at Endgame Cards and Anime in Ventura. But before we get too deep into this deck, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, turn that notification bell on. You're going to want to know when content like this is going to be dropping. So I started playing One Piece not too long ago, and I don't even have any real cards from out of the main set. I just picked up 2 starter decks, and I was able to put something together that I ended up getting first place with. I do have 2 cards in here from the main set, but only 2. Everything else is what you can get from the starter. So I really like the Kaido leader. He ramps you up. He gives you a lot of energy to make those big plays. And when I compared the 4 leaders to see what they all did, I thought that this one was going to be the one that I liked the best. And it got me some good results at this last weekend's tournament. So let's go ahead and we'll jump right into the deck profile. Kaido for minusing 7 Dawn, you're going to be able to trash one of your opponent's life. And I love that effect. It's super handy in a game like this to be able to just get rid of their life. It doesn't go to their hand. It doesn't activate any triggers. I'm running 4 copies of Onigashima Island. You have to. You really need to see this card in your opening hand, so you're going to mulligan hard for it, or at least I do. Mulligan hard for it to try and get it out there. But I still have some other cards from out of that starter deck that are able to kind of hold you over just in case if you don't see this card right off the bat. Going over my event cards, I'm running 4 copies of Blast Breath from out of the starter. Counter for 1 Dawn, you're going to, your leader or one of your characters is going to gain 4,000 power during the battle. And then I'm running 4 copies of Lead Performer Disaster. And you're going to either activate main where you draw 1 and you add a card from your Dawn deck to set it as active, or and then the trigger, if you hit this off your life, you're going to activate this card's main effect. So it's just a free way to ramp you up. Next, and then you're going to run 4 copies of Brachio Bomber. I did have to tap 6 for this guy, I think 2 times today. Otherwise, that trigger is nice to add 1 card from your Dawn deck and set it as active. So you're going to be able to pull some stuff from out of your Dawn and still ramp yourself up, just in case if you don't see Onigashima right off the bat. For the character cards, I'm running 4 copies of Black Maria. She's your blocker, so you want to try and get her out there early to protect you. I'm running 4 copies of Who's Who. Now, I like this card because this trigger came in so handy. There was a couple of times where my opponent had some 3 or less cards out there, and I got him off of my life. So you're just going to play him out. You minus that Dawn, and you could KO their card. So whether it was a blocker or a card that they were getting ready to aggress me with, he was able to clean that stuff up. And in a game like this where there's summoning sickness, I feel like this is a very good card to come in. And a lot of cards in this game that seem like are 3 or less and are trying to put in some work, he can come in and really throw off what your opponent is trying to do. I'm running 4 copies of Jack. For his effect, on play, you'll trash 1 card from your hand, and then you're going to add 1 card from your Dawn and set it as active. So we're seeing quite a few ways to still ramp yourself up, even if you don't see Onigashima. I'm running 3 copies of Sasaki. So on play, you'll take away a Dawn, and then you get to draw 1 card. He's 3 and 4K, so then you just put a Dawn underneath him, and he can put some pressure. And then I'm running, just as a beater, I'm running 3 copies of Page 1. He's a 4K with 6, or he's a 4-drop with 6K power. So just some pressure there from him. Also, he's got some counter ability too. I'm running 4 copies of Ulti. Just for her. She's the 2K counter that came in the starter, so I'm gonna go ahead and maximize on her. And then for kind of like the big cards of the deck, I'm running 4 copies of Queen. She's a big blocker. And also for his on play, this is going to help you filter through your deck. You're going to draw 2 and trash 1, so that's good. So if you have Onigashima set out there and you can't use it for anything else, then you can always target that in your hand and throw it away to get those +2. And then she's a big blocker, plus that 6K stat line. If you need to turn aggressive with her, then you can do that as well. I'm running 3 copies of the 6-drop King. On play, you'll KO one of your opponent's characters with the cost of 4 or less. You're going to minus 1 Dawn from him to do that. 6K with 7,000 power, or 6 drop with 7,000 power. And then I ran 3 copies of Kaido, the 9-drop that comes in the starter. And this guy's so good because you'll play him out for 9, you'll -5, you could KO one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less, and then he's going to gain rush for the turn. And then the final one, which I played in the tournament 2 weeks ago, and I didn't have this card in my deck. I actually had one more of the Sasaki and one more of the page 1. But then I went home and I ordered this. A couple of the guys at the shop told me about this card, so I went home, I ordered it, and added it into the deck. It's the 10-drop Kaido, and he's going to -6. He's going to blow up everything else that's on the field, so he's going to come in to try and close your games out. I ended up not using this card because I didn't see it for the tournament, and I ended up having to go a different route with this deck. I kind of just was able to get those cards on the field, like some Who's Who's and a couple Sasaki's, and then I kept putting Dawn underneath them to kind of just rush at my opponent after I ramped up the energy or played them out, for basically free, especially in the case of Who's Who. There was a couple of games where I was able to trigger him from off of my life and then play one from my hand, clearing their field, and then putting Dawn underneath and just attacking from there. But believe it or not, this deck got me first place at a locals at Endgame Cards and Anime in Ventura. It's just a very simple, like I said, almost everything here, well, everything except for these last 2 cards came from the starter deck. And I mean, if you only have starter decks, then the only change you have to make is add in one more page 1, add in one more Sasaki, and there you go. You literally are just playing with 2 starter decks, and you're able to go ahead and go to war, searching for the One Piece. Alright, well, thank you guys for tuning into this video. I'm going to continue playing One Piece, so if you're interested in profiles, if I can get some going here in the future, I'll be sure to drop those here on the channel. Thank you guys for tuning in this video, and I'll see you guys next time.
Thank you for watching the video.